how would you suggest our students to approach their long term planning? Is data science or data analytics actually have scope in future, or like the engineers, we'll have a lot of engineers and not that much opportunities for us?
Okay, so but again, I will boil down and I will look at the first holdings of, the fundamentals.
Hmm.
What is data analytics to you? How do you define it, data analytics?
Analyzing all the data for the companies to give them a better understanding of their business models.
That is a textbook definition. Bring it to real life definition.
We
How
are
do you?
tech students, we are bookworms.
No,
But yeah,
absolutely. That is
exactly.
important. That is important. Even we are tech students. We got to lead a human life, right? So
Right.
if I were in your place, what I would
Mhm.
do is my fundamental understanding of data science or data analytics is if I am able to derive meaningful intelligence out of a data set, which is relatable, non-relatable, which is organized, disorganized, which is craxed once. So that is the basic fundamental of data science. And
Hmm.
now if I'm looking at moving into that, AI is able to do all the known formats. Would I have a job? Which means fundamental literacy of numerics, which means mathematics. You are scared of a calculator.
No, we are not exactly scared of the calculator, but at the end of the day, people are not having jobs. We see a lot of engineers, there are very few jobs left because everybody rushed to it. Now everybody is rushing to data
The
analytics.
the primary question to you that comes is, are you a trend setter or are you a trend follower?
We want to be a trendsetter, but once we set a trend, post that everybody wants to follow it. And
Of course.
those who will follow, they
Mhm.
will not fetch the jobs. I am already a master student. My juniors who are right now in BBA will follow me. So I'm
No,
asking you, how should they approach
when I
their?
say when I say a trend setter, what I mean is, let's say for example, you have a data set, and there are 2,300 models of intelligence that an AI can populate out of
Hmm.
that data set in a matter of, let's say, 7 minutes.
Right.
So in 7 minutes, what you can do in probably the next 5 years, the kind of predictions that you are able to deploy in 5 years,
Hmm.
the AI mechanics would be able to deliver in 7 minutes.
Right.
Is that what you are scared of, or is that what you are happy about?
Even if I'm happy about, once my senior or anybody knows about it, my job is at stake
Your
because
job
some.
is your job is not to calculate what a calculator does. Your job is not to find out those 2,300 models. Your job is to figure out how you are able to deploy the intelligence. I focus on the word intelligence, data intelligence. How you are able to derive intelligence out of the data set, out of the 2,300 predictions or results or derivatives that you have received out of them,
Hmm.
and deploy them into real life actions.
So basically,
So
I'll be an interpreter to the data.
you will not be an interpreter. You will
Hmm.
already have interpretations. You will be a deployer.
Okay.
You will be a deployer.
Hmm.
So, what I mean by deployer is, let's say, for example, there is a spectacle company in on Amazon, and they are selling brilliant spectacles specifically in three pin codes out of India. And you have been provided with this intelligence in a matter of, let's say, 2 minutes.
Right.
What can you do about it?
I'll deploy, matlab, I'll work and I'll strategize upon it.
What will you deploy it?
I'll strategize accordingly, no?
Like what? So, as an employee of Amazon, what you can possibly think of is, if I have a data pool from where it's like a funnel. So you have come to the bottom of the funnel with a finding, with an intelligence that there are three pin codes in India where maximum number of spectacles are sold online.
Right.
What if a brand who wants to set up not a franchisee store, but a like a company owned, company operated kind of a store,
Mhm.
and I give them this intelligence that they are able to set up shop in these three pin codes, and they will be able to attract maximum sales out of that store.
Right.
What if I'm able to take that intelligence to hospitals, eye hospitals, and tell them that why don't you open a franchisee network out in this area, because here the demand of spectacle is maximum.
Right.
So AI is a tool which is providing you with the intelligence.
Hmm.
Now, if you are able to deploy those intelligence into practical life or not, is a choice you have to make.
Okay.
So, see, AI is nothing but a computational machine. It will compute data at a faster rate.
Right.
It is not going to tell you, like if you would have asked for a prediction, as in, okay, what is if I were to ask ChatGPT that, okay, fine, can you derive me so and so data sets? They would say that, okay, great, I would have these three pin codes out of India where you can set up this, like whatever I told you, let's say ChatGPT does that. So in that case, that job is also done.
Right.
What next? What beyond can you think?
So like Chat
There
GPT
is
has
where
became Hanji. Please.
there is where your audacity of MBA comes into picture. How you have mastered the business administration. Am I only looking at the there's a concept I'm sure you are aware of, uh, procurement of procurement. Are you aware of it?
I've heard of it.
Okay. So procurement of procurement is, have you seen Amazon selling Solimo products or Amazon Basics?
Amazon Basics?
Okay.
No.
So all these e-commerce companies, they kind of get into this modality of sales where they would first analyze and understand which product sells the most.
Right.
And then they would understand where does these companies procure it from.
Okay.
They would set up a shop, procure it from the same space, and sell it at a lesser price under their brand name.
Okay.
So if you see Amazon Basics, whatever is sold on Amazon Basics, that is an everyday need what either you or me or somebody would need. Whether it is a detergent or whether it is something utility or whether it is something to do with cooking or whether it is a stationery or a computer IT peripheral, they would deliver it, build it up with the only reason being because that is the most selling product. They have the intelligence for it. And what they have done is they have deployed that intelligence to make sure that this deployment results into more profits. So, as a data science engineer or a data science with an MBA combination, I think it is very important for you to look at market opportunities where you are not reliant on. See, you are an engineer because you have the ability to comprehend what the outcome of the data is and what model the data is derived on. If I tell you that out of right now, I have told you one relational example, which is in India, three pin codes have the maximum selling spectacles in these three pin codes.
Right.
What if it was a half-hearted sentence. I put a comma to it and then I say out of five pin codes, your entire data interpretation would change.
Right.
In India, these are the three pin codes selling maximum number of sunglasses, was what I said earlier. And now if I say, I put a comma to it and I complete my sentence stating out of five pin codes, your entire interpretation would change.
And indeed, it will.
And then I put another comma and I say in New Delhi, or I say in Chandni Chowk. Every time I put a comma and my query elongates, your entire interpretation would change. So
Right.
if you ask a robot in today's date that would you be able to push a ball from one point of the table to another point, the robot will be able to do it. But at the end of the table, the ball is going to stop or the ball is about to fall, the robot will not have an understanding. Similarly, with AI, they would be able to interpret and do calculations for you to a limited extent of your definition. Maybe an addition of 100%. But end of the day, we human beings, we have more ability to put their derivatives at a questionable state,
Right.
where in order to derive business meaning out of it. As in, if I am to put this, like initially when we started off this call, I put up one thing: whatever you do as a startup beginner, figuring out, first and foremost is deploying it into real life cases. So whatever your derivatives of AI is, if unless you are able to deploy it into real life, as in every time you go walk up with a finding, a conclusion, and then put a what if to it. What if this is not? Then what are the possibilities I'm looking at? And that is how we started off with Fire and Wheel, and we are here today to autonomous driving and full self-driving, FSD, and all that technological hypes that we are creating about. So we got to hype with uh, dream big is a very open quote that everybody wears on t-shirt, on caps, etc., everywhere. So I have always, like when I was handling a team, I always used to tell them, you think of the stars, you fall on the cloud, you think of the cloud, you fall on the tree, you think of the tree, you fall on the ground. Even then you got to make sure that you have your foot on the ground. So
Right.
foot on the ground in this respect means that you might be having AI derivatives, which might be the trees or the clouds or the stars or the space, whatever. Your feet must be on the ground, because your feet on the ground represents what reality of applying that technological invention or the infrastructural invention in real life looks like. I might sound a lot philosophical, forgive me for that, but I think the students in today's day, they need to understand what is the purpose of a job. Is it only to earn money? Is it because if it is only to earn money, it will fade away
Right.
and it is never ending, and it is an infinite game which has to be there, which is mandatory. But at the same time, there has to be, like I always say, one for the kitchen and one for the soul. What fulfills your soul? So if you're starting a startup, money is something, the first fundamental axis. The second is, it must be fulfilling your soul. You must be able to address that, okay, what impact has it had on the human life? What impact has it had on our everyday taking decisions? Like, I am a trend follower. My friends are saying that nothing can happen, so I agree with it, that nothing can happen. AI has taken over everything. We won't have a job, we won't have everything. So let's leave everything and sit back at home. Or we can put a stop to it and say, okay, what if that is not the case?